Another day again. Oh, another day, another good day. Welcome to the Logan's Hour. Um, today, today's a real good day, and we have so many things to talk about. You all know today is our motivational hour, so we are not going to deviate from that. We will stay committed to what we said we were going to do. So we going to stick to our motivational hour, but we're going to talk few of other things that are trending. And the Liberian community of Indiana, we're going to show some light on that too. And we're going to talk about their event. They're going Valentine Day program as well. We're going to talk about some of how do I refer to them or refer to their attitude. So we will deal with some of those things tonight because today is motivational hour. So we will talk more about motivations. We will deal with motivations. And I know some people would not love to hear some of what we're going to be saying here tonight. But like I said, it's a choice issue. You can choose to stay here, you can choose to leave, but we will not stop talking. We will not stop addressing the issue as it comes. So today, like I said, we will stay committed to our motivational hour. But there are a whole lot of different things going on. There are a whole lot of interesting things going on around the world, in the Liberian community. And trust me, today's show, it's not going to be about politics specifically. It's going to be about motivations that I've committed myself to. We're going to speak to the consciences of the young people. We're going to make sure we'll make it our business to always tell young people what they need to know, not what they need to hear. I know sometimes when you're dealing with your younger friends, they want you to tell them what they need to hear. But in this case, when we're speaking to young people, we will obviously be telling you what you need to hear. There are so many things that the young people have relied on the older ones for, but some of them have been feeling betrayal, some of them have been feeling light down, and some of the young people, they believe that they have no hope. So tonight we're going to talk about some of them. Welcome to the Logan's Hour again. Today's our motivational hour. We're going to deal with motivations. We will just talk about a few things around the world that are going on. Specifically, I know sometimes you get tired with me when I'm talking about Liberia issue, but in all fairness, Liberia is my country. Liberia is the only country I cannot be deported from in my direct long voice. So most time I always talk about issue that confront Liberians and Liberia. But notwithstanding, there are so many things around the world, so many things are going on today. You just heard today that the president of the Republic of Liberia he suspended jail sentence for Mr. Brownie J. Samuka, which there are so many misfeelings out there. A lot of people they are dissatisfied with what the president did today. But the reason why I decided to add that to our motivational hour today is that we as young people as we grow up, we have to take key for some of these things that are happening around us. We have to be very careful of some of those decisions we make because it might just come back to haunt us. Look at Mr. Brownie J. Samuka today, that the president of the Republic of Liberia, after the president waited, the Senate declared his seat vacant. Then the president came out to suspend his 2 year sentence. You know, some people in the opposition, they are always saying President Weah, he's not smart. And in fact, he's the worst president Liberia have ever produced. But let me say this. President George Weah, he's a very brilliant guy. His timings are already right. And what he did to J. Brownie Samuka today, that was a perfect timing. You know what he did? He's not just going to handicap him like what the court did, but now he have increased Brownie Samuka disabilities. The only difference is Brownie Samuka will not be behind bars. But Brownie Samuka's life is in the hands of the president. The president can determine Brownie Samuka's next course of action. That's why the president grant him repeal. In that, the president saying, you know what? You're supposed to go to jail. Don't go to jail. I will suspend that jail sentence. I will keep you outside while you try to look for the money to pay. But at any time, the president can still grab Mr. Brownie J. Samuka and put him back behind bars. You are right, Alvin. The president couldn't have done that. So now the timing is right. Brownie Samuka, he's a handicap. Mr. Brownie Samuka would not go to Lofa County to campaign for any political party of his choosing because he understands the condition under which he's outside. Now, to handicap Brownie Samuka more, they instructed Mr. J. Brownie Samuka to go at the Justice Ministry and make stipulations as to how he's going to pay what he owed. Anyway, that was just in passing. We're not going to deal with Brownie Samuka here today, so we're just going to leave that part of it because today is our motivational hour. So Brownie Samuka, his issue. Well, the law is the law. When he's found guilty, he have to pay. We cannot undermine our justice system. This was a real precedent case, and I expected for the president to allow this matter to be in the hands of the executive before granting Mr. Samuka this little pardon. Because what I actually expected was the court announced a sentence, but the case hasn't yet final. When the case is final, they will turn Brownie Samuka over to the Justice Ministry to be sentenced. Then at that point, the president has the right, or the Justice Minister can say, hey, we have a letter from the president, Mr. J. Brownie Samuka cannot go to jail. This is a letter from the president. Then read that pardon letter. Mr. Brownie Samuka will be set free to go and do what you have to do and pay back. But in much they haven't sentencing here, and the president just come out and send a letter of pardon to forgive his 2 years jail sentence. But Mr. Samuka, you're not yet free. You can't do anything of your choice. You can leave Liberia like the way you want to leave. You have to go and make a report. I'll be traveling. I'll be back this time. The president can get ready today and say, oh, so this Mr. Samuka man will put him outside the man, you're talking against her. You grab that man, put him inside. The justice minister could come back with some booger statement that Mr. Samuka is defaulting on the payment. He got to go back to jail. Or Mr. Samuka was seen in Lofa County. I just sorry for him because to see an honorable man who honorably served our country for 12 unbroken years as the longest serving defense minister since the foundation of Liberia, to be going this way, his whole entire political career is going down the drain. It is sad. It is sad. And the reason we included this on our motivational hour because this is a classic example for we young people as we grow up. I love for things to be documented. Mr. Samuka said the president told him to do it, but did he went to the president and ask for any documentation? Madam President, can you put this on the paper? Can you write this out? Because that was a that money was intended for the social benefits, their insurance or whatever. If the president asks you to use it, you should allow the president to send you some communication. Now, all Mr. Samuka evidence that he had, Dr. McLean, he's already dead. Nowhere Mr. Samuka could turn again. So they said the falling of the dry leaf, it is a warning to the wet leaf. So to you, the young people today, we the young people today, we see Mr. Samuka political career have just ended. Except another president come to Liberia or become another person become president and just pardon him and restore all of his right. But Mr. President today, Mr. George Manawia, President George Manawia, in his statement, he was very, 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 very clear about it. He was very clear about it. He never restored Mr. Samuka right. He only granted him repose. He suspended fine, suspended sentence, and pardon. So the whole entire executive clemency freeing 500 inmates, those were just for those guys that did minor things. The president said when it comes to rape and other things, they will not be free. But I like the president exercising his power that was vested in him by the Liberian Constitution, according to Article 57 of the 1986 Constitution. The power is vested in the president. They gave the president the power to pardon people. But for Mr. Samuka, I know people would not like to hear this. This was a complete political charade. This was intended to handicap Mr. Samuka more. The only difference, Mr. Samuka is stay out. So he's grateful for that. But every day he live in fear. He have to work at the will and pleasure of the president his entire life. Even when he want to make some public statements, he have to sit down and think like a cabinet minister. This statement I'm about to make will it injure the president? How would the president feel? Because at any time, justice minister can come back for you. The president never give you executive clemency and restore all your rights. The president never said that Brandon Samuka rights are restored. It mean Brandon Samuka, he stay a convicted person. Brandon Samuka stay in debt here. Brandon Samuka will have to pay. Brandon Samuka got 2 years sentence that the president suspend, and at any time, the 2-year sentence can be restored. So the president chooses his words very carefully. Very carefully. People never knew that. All people felt was, oh, the man free now. The president have granted man executive clemency. Mr. Samuka said no. That's why he taught. Because if the president was to grant him executive clemency and restore all of his rights, though the fight that a convicted criminal cannot run to become lawmaker or cannot take our highest seats, but at least he was to be walking around as a free man. But in this case, Mr. Samuka, he's not working as a free man. He have to work. He have to report. Because making stipulations to make payment is like you reporting. So they will obviously know whereabouts. For every time you default on a payment, they know two things. Either he's not in the country or he's trying to be arrogant. So when he try to be arrogant, you're dragging him back here. I understand that was a complete political tactics. I like the president. I like that move. That's a smart move. He crippled the opposition more. So I want to say kudos to him. His attempt or his strategy today works. Just that the oppositions, the time they had to pull their wings together to fear to make the president a little afraid, they blunder, they squander the opportunity, and now they have to go separate ways. While you have a few more days to 2023. Well, enough of that. Enough of politics. Let's come back to our motivational hour today. We are about to speak to young people. But anyway, before we speak to young people in passing, I wanted to talk about the Librarian Association Valentine Day of Indiana. But I don't know if I talk about it now, if you're going to steal the essence of the show. But let me just talk about it in passing. Just I will not stay long on that. So you all know Saturday, the Librarian Association of Indiana hosted their traditional, I can say, holiday ceremony. Because according to the Constitution, the Valentine programs, Independent Day program, Flag Days, those are some of the programs the organization usually celebrate. And this one was no exception to what the organization usually celebrate. But there are a few things that caught my attention at this identical Valentine Day celebration. This gone Saturday. One of them was, if you went to the Valentine Day program, you could clearly observe that the old people, they were in majority, and the younger folks were in minority. What do I mean then? What I'm trying to say is this. Normally, when these kind of things are going on, you find the younger generation, their adrenaline is so high to the point that they want to be part of some of the activities. But sadly, on the contrary, you find the old people, they are dominating when it comes to the activities that the organization is having in town, and the younger people are just laying back and having the kind of a don't care attitude, which is a real bad sign. So today, as a resident of this community, what I did was I went in the community chat room and I asked a question. And I did it as a poll that all members of the community will be able to go there and decide if they can vote on that pool. Because the essence of the pool, it will give the leadership clear understanding as to if they are going in the right direction. And I asked a question. Do you think the leadership of this community, the Librarian Association of Indiana, is headed in the right direction? Because the reason I'm asking these questions, because when you look at the size of the community is very large. The Librarian community is very large. When you do population samplings of people who live within the community, approximately you will count up to 200, 300 Liberians living within this community. But some of them, they don't show up to any of the activities. They care less. You remind them they don't care. And what actually saddens me is that people who feels that or felt they are entitled to the community leadership. Such person is the fellow who ran in the past election, and he was defeated. Now nobody know, maybe out of anger, he feels entitled that why the people never voted for him. And some of those deception, I feel sad for my younger brothers who do not read between the lines. Because why is it that all of a sudden somebody come out in the split of a second and explaining all the good policies and telling you how they will become a good leader? If you vote for me, I will transform this community. I will make it look like what you expect it to be, and your lives will be changed, and there will be unity, and they explain all of the good things in their policy. But after they lost the election, they are nowhere to be seen. You won't hear about him anymore. You won't see the individual anymore. The community having event, he do not show up. So how do we trust those kind of people? Now you get a community election coming up November. You will see some of them springing from some canons, coming that they want to liberate you. They will be a better leader. What's the guarantee that they're going to be a better one? When they do not show up to any of the community events. You think not showing up to the community event, you think, are you strangulating the entire community? This is just about unity. You see, these issues about Liberians and their attitude is getting so mind-boggling to the point where sometimes I consider our attitude like crab in bucket. We have the crab in bucket mentality. When one person is trying hard to go up, the rest of the other people so envious and they want you to calm down because you're not supposed to go up. We're all supposed to be down. This is how I see when a Liberian man, a typical Liberian man, participate in the political process and get defeated. He gets so angry. He feels so hurt. Like, this thing belongs to my mom and my pa. Why they have to deny me of it? I'm sorry if you're watching me from any part of the world, but I want to address the issue confronting my community right now. I live in a community. I'm a stakeholder in the community. So I owe it to this community and the younger generation. We cannot keep living like that. The same attitude we have exhibited over the time, that Liberia today is considered as one of the poorest countries in the world, one of the dirtiest countries in the world. It is the same attitude we are bringing up here as well. Me, myself, and I. We are no different from the people back home. It doesn't matter if you can go to Walmart and buy a half-done chicken. But if your community is having events, if your community is having activities for the good of the community, get involved with the community activities. What good will it make when you sit home, you do not participate, and you sit and criticize everything the community is getting involved with? Some of you old past leaders, or some of you who want to be potential future leaders, I will stop to mention some of your names up here. And one of those people tonight I'm going to mention his name is Barakaba. Bala ran anytime, went for debate. He said all the good things out there, how he was going to make a good community leader. He explained all of his past experiences, all of the good he have done for the community. All of a sudden, he lost the election. He feel entitled that the Liberian community should have awarded him the presidency. Because they never awarded him the presidency, he stays away. All of you that go to that web party he always organized, I think you people are less basic. You need to boycott some of those parties and tell him that it's unfair. It's unfair. United we stand, divided we always fall. We have to hold and unite. Why do you think there are other communities, organizations, or Liberian community of New York, Liberian community of Jersey, Liberian community of this other place, Nigerian community, or various countries community? It is the unity of the people. It is the coming together, the conglomerations of people of diverse ideas. Help to unite the community when something happened back home. We that are up here and fortunate enough, we are able enough to rally around. We are able to rally around and help our people. Why we just want to be like this crab in bucket mentality? Or because you never elect me, so I will not take part in any of the community activities. What's wrong with you? I know others might have genuine reason for not getting involved with the community. Like the other day on my last show on Saturday, other people call and express their dissatisfaction. Granted, they are not real leaders in the community, so when they express their dissatisfaction, I believe that the president and whoever person in this administration, they have to take cue from that. They have to listen, take these people number, reach out to them. Now we get few months from now, you will see people stepping up here. I will be your next president. Vote me. This is why I did for the community before. COVID time, I took food to houses. But some of you, I got a surprise for you. I will call you people name up here. I will name you. I will shame you. And the good thing about it, I think the past time the financial secretary have stopped posting the names of people who pay dues to the community. I will grab those names and maybe ask her if I can get hold of them. I will call some of you names. If you know you are a reputable person in this community, you have your heart and character to protect, and you sign the membership obligation that you will uphold to the tenets of democracy or to the tenets of that membership agreement that you sign, and you default on it, I will come up here regardless of who you are. You can be my friend, you can be my uncle, you can be elders of the community. I will call your name, I will name you, I will shame you. The fact that you can do me nothing, I got one life to live. After life is death. We sit and have all the reasons why we cannot improve, why the community cannot improve. But when they call activities, when they call meetings for you to go and contribute, you stay away. You're angry because this is your power farm. Why they never give it to you? This is too much, and this has to stop. What are we imparting into our little children? Hate, jealousy, deceitfulness? Is that what we're passing on? Imagine your little daughter asking you, Daddy, the Liberian community that you are part of is having these activities today. I'm not going there because those people there, I don't care about it. Listen, you can be a Liberian person, regardless how many years you have stayed in America. That doesn't equip you to a typical American. You are a Liberian. You are a Liberian. So all that things, some of you can be talking, I get time for the Liberian people tine, I get time for the African people tine. You better cut it off. Because tomorrow when you fall down here, that Liberian man going to live for your body and run with it and be throwing you around having feeling rough for you. The white man will not do it. The black American man will not do it. Why can't we embrace ourselves? Why can't we come together and hold together and confront the problem we are faced with? Why are we so hateful? Why are we jealous of each other? Well, one person is trying to progress, the rest of them have something to say. Go gossip and say all kind of things, bad bite. I know some people think I'm angry. I'm not angry. But it pains me to see my daughter or my son getting up to ask, Daddy, where do we have the Liberian community? And why is it people are not getting involved with the Liberian activities? Do your culture still stands? You want to adapt the ways of the white man? I like this quote from Okogo. He told his son, go into the land of the white man, but don't learn the ways of the white man. Liberians, today's my motivational hour, but for that Valentine program, it got me so pissed. Some of the elders, some of our people that we know, the only thing tonight, I ain't too prepared for the fight. That's why I'm not going to mention names. But I have a whole list of names that I was prepared to just call and name and shame here tonight. If you see me to the park, you want to speak, fine. If you didn't speak to me, my woman will not leave me. My children will not abandon me. My job will not fire me. But it better we talk about this. Pay your dues, you can pay. Support the community, you don't want to support the community. But you want things happen all of a sudden. You want a community to look at New York. Every time you get something to say, you criticize everything. When they ask for solution, you don't get no solution. Who are you? Some of them, anytime they call themselves Mr. Bookman, they get issue with everything. But when you ask them, how can we solve the problem, they get nothing to say. Then who are we? You can see all the problems, but you have no solution. Let's desist. Because I can rest assure you, some people will be named and shamed. Some of those who get involved with the community leadership and all of a sudden they just stay away because they were never elected. If you're my uncle, you are elders of the time. If you know yourself, you have been involved with the community leadership, and all of a sudden, because you're never elected and decide to stay away, you better start getting involved now. Because the next thing, you see, one thing I will not do, I will not tarnish anybody's reputation here. I'm so responsible for that. I will not come here and lie on anybody's name or malign anybody's character. I'm so responsible for that. But when it comes to naming and shaming you, I will. I will. Because there are so many things we can do together as a people. If we unite and become stronger together and fight together, the Liberian community of Indiana can even have a clinic or a hospital in Liberia. That's true. And Tutu Makate, you are right. They claim to know book. They know all the big grammar, the terminology. They will tell you all the problem the community is confronted with. But support the community, they done. Pay your dues, they done. But they got all the problem why the community is not. Some of them, when you sit with them, they giving you, when I sat with some of the people and they were giving me the historicity of the community, telling me about why the community is down, why the community is like this. The community is lacking capable of leadership. And you think the community is lacking leaders or leadership? No. The community is lacking committed and selfless people. Let me say it today. I could apply for any position in the political arena. I run with anybody in a political race. If I'm defeated, you will not even believe that I ran with you because I will be there to support you at all costs. Because the fight it's about uniting the community. It's about bringing the community back. It's about giving the community some sensitivity. You see, when we bring back civilities in our community, you see, then some of the people that I expect to be more involved with the community, they have they kind of believe that, oh, we're not gonna get in that with the people then. It's the churches too. The churches, the Liberian churches. They do not support their own Liberian community. All they gotta do on Sunday, every church have their own little small grouping. When they go to sit down in the elevators, they finish preaching the Sunday service, they go home. What the community is confronted with, they don't care. Or they believe God going to come one day and just grab them and say, you're the committed people, you're the only one that only know me, I carry you to heaven. That's all they feels. You never one day go to a community function and you see a whole church, or you even go and hear a pastor talking about it in his church and say, hey, listen, the Liberian community tomorrow will be having this event. I'm asking all of my congregations, my members to be in the church and let's go and support our community. They're done. The pastor sitting, all he care about is his membership come to church on Sunday, and they do not support the community. That's bad. That's bad to the code. All those small churches around here. If you just count the Liberian churches, when you go on the Liberian Association chat, every day, second pastor get power for us to post. But he get the courage to kind of support your own community. That's bad. Regardless who is the president, if we all come together and support who is the president, the community is going to improve. Why can't we be thinking about something bigger? With all the innovations, all the ideas we have in the town, we have young, capable Liberians who have their own businesses. When the last time the community came together and called the entire churches, even the churches, all the clergy people, some of them call themselves bishops of other churches. When the last time the churches decided to call a meeting and say, we're calling all the community leaders and let's see how the community going. What's the way forward of this community? None. But all the pastor have in his head and here his congregation, they have the escapist in theology. They believe God coming tomorrow, rapture. Oh, when they see you, you're not going to church. They're castigating you, telling you, oh, that one not going to church. Tomorrow when God comes, he will leave behind. You not go to church every day and have dirty ways. What a difference for you and the person who not going to church? What is the difference? This thing been getting to me too much today. I just decided to put it out. When you go on on the chat there, somebody so holy, in the money they'll post by our voice, in the evening they'll post by our voice. Somebody rap by your heart and even get food, you not ask the person question one day. Somebody rap by your whole car broke down, you say, oh, that America, yeah, you get popo in your car, you pass it, pass by the man, go to work. Then you, in the money you post by our voice, in the evening post by our voice. You know how God coming for you? The churches in this town, they have to support the Liberian community. Those various organizations. There should be a time where the churches will come together and say, today we are calling a retreat. We are calling all of the heads of all the organizations to a meeting. We are calling the current president. Let's have a dialogue where the community is heading. They're calling young people. What can we do for our young people? 20 years from now, which kind of community we love to see ourselves living in? Which kind of community are we passing on to our younger generation? Have we sat down and talked about that? If the pastor have 2,000 members, he's celebrating in his church. My church is bigger than that other church. My members can dress in that other church. My members are this, my members are that. Oh, the last time, those pastors. Let me tell you, the pastor there, I'm coming for you too. I will get your names. I will come right here and call your name and shame you too. I don't care. You see the size of my hair? It can't fit nobody more. Whether you fair, you not fair, my wife will still love me. My children will still love me. But we have to say it. Some of the people who claim to be community leaders, who when you meet to a function, they have all the ideas and all the visions for the community. They have lived here saying, they can say Charlie King Town. We have to start naming them and shaming them. They believe they are educated. They're teaching to the other university. They know all the book. But bring that idea, put it on the table. How can we unite our community? Which kind of community we want to pass on to our younger generation? The old people will be fading away soon. Do we want to have a community where have no head and no tail? The older folks stay inciting hate into the younger ones? All the pastors. When was the last time Pastor A said, today I'm going to call a meeting with all of my fellow pastors. We're going to meet with the Library Association. We're going to ask for all the other organization names and their heads, and we're going to sit down with them and ask them individually, where is your group heading? What are those changes your group want to see in the community? Have they ever thought of that? The community having function, church do not even donate. All the various churches supposed to be right in that in their church elevates and collect their community dues. They're done. The pastor care to collect his offering every Sunday, but he never wanted stood on the pulpit and asked his members, how many of you here is lacking with your dues? And how can the church help to pay that? $60 a month. You go to Kentucky Fried Chicken, you eat $60 chicken, $40 chicken. You go to the liquor store, you get Grand Mouet, $35, $40 there. To pay $60 dues, you can. To the point where they have to come up here and name some of the leaders of the community that they haven't paid dues. But the only reason, the justification they get is the community, the thing I expect them to do, they're not doing it. What's stopping you from paying your dues? So you want to tie the community because certain people in power you don't like. Is that how we're going to grow this community? It's the kind of community we want to pass on to our younger generation. Hate. What my daughter can look at your daughter and say, oh, your party president and my parent let your pass, I will not speak to your pa, or I will not speak to you. Is that hate we are transferring? The most important part of life is that point of passing the baton when the older folks turning over the future to the younger generation because the time has elapsed and they are escaping now. What do we want to see? Which kind of community are we laying up for our children to inherit? This administration tenure will be ending November. Who are those new people who are willing to take over? Have we seen them? But when it comes to election, they have all of the same. Some of the Liberian churches, When you go there, they give you all the reason why we are not united. But have they called a meeting a day to discuss what is the problem with the community? We gotta we somebody, you see, sometimes the other day I was saying this with somebody, we had a conversation, right? The person said, "Oh, there's no need for having too many Liberian churches. We need one Liberian church that we all can just go and worship together, and that's it will be easy that way." I told the person, it cannot be one Liberian church. We got to fight that. Every church and every congregation have their own style of worshiping. I do not default with people having different churches. That's pure good, but we should have one common way to converge. And that common way of meeting all Liberians within this Indiana here is the Liberian Association function. But we lay back. Oh, that Liberian people now, let Liberian people thing you. Say I came to America, I don't even go to Liberian people thing, and I hear Liberian thing. You who? When you fall down tomorrow, who gonna live here? The Liberian man will put you on their shoulder. The white man, the black American will abandon you. Your Liberian people who talk like you will come to you, to your aid. I understand sometimes Liberians can be annoying. They go and gossip. They say things about you, things that they don't know about. But those are life. Would that stop you from supporting your community? Would that stop you from getting involved with your community process? Is this kind of community we want to transfer to our children? Where there are a lot of hate all around? People just sit there and have lackadaisical attitude, believe things going to face by itself? We call a community function, community meeting, where people are supposed to go and talk about issues that are confronting the community. You will not find none of those people in there. The only people you find maybe 7, 8 people, 10 people. They're all day in our mouth we're passing around. The Liberian community can improve. The Liberian community is there, and the Liberian community is funny. But we're not doing nothing to help improve it. But when you go to the other man church, he got 70 people saying that there. But he one day, he ought to take one Sunday and talk about the community activities. He expects you, the community leader, to go in the church and talk about the community activities. But he lives within the community. Anything happened to the community, it happened to his congregation, it happened to his church. We don't talk about it. Some of the older folks, they're laying back in their various homes. The community going in disarray. They don't care. The only time you heard some of them speaking when Prophet Key put the entire community in Zialitule. There was a breaking news. They all come in and say, "Oh, we want to know who get the news. We want to know." Because they put fire under your butt. But all the time the community is confronted with issues. Where we're supposed to start addressing problems. Let's solve these problems. Let's ask the young people what they are confronted with. Is there's a time that the young and the old can meet and have a conversation? Let the old people tell what the problem they see with the community. Let the young people try to have the representation. We're done. It is a Liberian mentality. I got a nice car, I got a nice home. You who to consider the way I'm sitting? Is this what we want to transfer to our community, to our next generation? No. I'm sorry tonight if I'm sounding a little emotional. But we can't keep transferring hate, jealousy, envy. If you just joining me, you are on the Logan's Hour. I know tonight some people pissed with me, but tonight I'm on fire. And the fire are on, I'm taking the fire off. They say if you want to the Bible says you might be able to take the speck from your own eyes, but you take a speck from somebody's eyes. Deal with your own community. And the pastor, some of them know me when I meet them outside. We talk about the issues. I ask you, what are your contributions to your community? You didn't go in your church and stay and preach. It mean you finish contributing to your community. We can do better. We can do better than this. The Liberian people, we can do better than this. I'm about to open the line. And I will ask everybody who live in this community, if you know you have issues, if you know you have problems, and you know the way the community can solve some of those basic problems, if you want to call, express yourself. The only thing you have to do, just be respectful. Don't call people names. At a certain point in time, we will call their names. We will not insult them, but we'll call their names and shame them. But we have to support our community. We have to support our community. We can't be having the crab in bucket mentality or cowpool friendship. We laughing with you, then inside we get problem with you. Let's sit down on a table and express our frustration. Talk to our leaders, look in their eyes, and tell them the problem the community is confronted with. Which kind of community we want our children to inherit? Which kind of community do we want to pass on to the younger generation? Do we want to pass a community where my pa can speak to your pa, so me and you, we can sit together? Do we want to spread hate into our children? Do we want to spread hate, jealousy to our children? We sit down and claiming that we know everything. When you sit with some of them, they know all the problems the community is confronted with. As for solution, they don't have no solution. The hair get black. November, they will be stepping up. They'll be giving you all the political rhetorics, how they can make the community better. But why can't we see you now? I'm not angry. Trust me. I'm just a little emotional because I would love to see a community where my child can sit with your child. Even sometimes if I'm stranded, I can leave my daughter with you with smiles. When I'm coming back, you smile with me and say, hey, your daughter doing good, but I think she needs some help in these areas. That's the Liberia we used to know. Where your pa can discipline my child or discipline me. And my parents say, hey, I appreciate that. Are we going to take these selfish American ideology and just put it on us as Liberians? Where it is me, myself, and I, you living right next door to somebody, you can't even say hello. You even know who living next door to you. We want to bring that same thing in our community. Some of our elders who feel because they live in a better community and have a nice car, God blessing them today, they don't even identify the community. But when they meet you, they want to take you to be a small person and will explain everything the community is confronted with. The most important part about life is that point where an older person will pass on a baton to a younger person and say, take on from here. This is where I stop. This is the layout. We want our children come and take on the community with all natty bench structure. It's just hate that we inserted. One person come to power today and just the rest of the other folks, I can't work with you. What make you think when you come to power, people are going to work with you? My pastors, I love you guys. The reason I came down to high on you people, some of you people in your various churches, you have to talk about the community issues. You have to stay in your church and ask people in your various churches to collect the community dues. It's $60. Some of you see you demand people to sow. It's $300-$400. So see. Tell the man, say, you see this Saturday or this first Sunday. Everybody in this church, if you're Liberian and belong to the Liberian community, I want your seed to be that $60 for the community dues. The community upliftment. It has to deal with everybody collectively. I look forward to that day where I will see all the churches coming together and calling the heads of all the other various organizations, groupings, and say, let's have a dialogue. Let's talk about the community we want to see. Let's talk about the community we want to give to our younger generation. Do we want to give a community that is full of hate, jealousy, bad birthing? When you ask some of your brother why you are not at a community function, they have all the things to say to you and nothing to say in you. They only saying, I'm coming here because I'm angry. Angry for what? This is not your power or your mind inheritance. If you lost election, come up. Keep doing what you used to do. Everybody that know me, I'm a different kind of person. I go to election with you. You defeat me. I will come outside and work with you the same way. There'll be no bad blood. Because the first thing what run to my mind is at this given time, the people feels that I'm not the right candidate. The person have the will and power to deal with the community issues. All I need to do, all the ideas I had that I explained during the time of the debate or whatever, I just work with you and we just solve the community problems. Who knows? Tonight, as I said, you say you shy away, you don't want to call, you don't want to talk about problem the community is confronted with. I'm going to open the line here. And I'll open the line for only 5 minutes. So you either call tonight or you forever hold your peace. This is burning. This is issues that we have to talk about. We can't keep knowing this. We have to deal with it. The numbers are here. It's 401 359 5072 And I expect my first call tonight to be Tutu Makati, because she's one of those people that when it comes to the community progress, she frown on people just don't want to deal with the community issue. And she said it, she said, the problem the community is confronted with, it's not today. It's a way back Charlie Kingtown problem. Some people felt because they came to Indiana, so they are the Christopher Columba or Indiana. They didn't want to discover Indiana. So when other librarians who just came here a few years later on want to talk, oh, we been here saying here was a pub, sent Joseph taking our time. So you got to listen to all that. We don't want to know the community. You know the community. What's the impact you're making? Whose lives have you changed? What have you talked about? So the number is there right now. You can call or forever hold your peace. I got 5 minutes here. This is the Logan's Hour when we are on a motivational hour. All right. So I know some people will be impressed with me tonight, but it is what it is. I had to add some fire to my voice tonight because these are things that we've been confronted with, and we cannot sit down and allow our community to keep going the way it's going. We have to hold all of the parties involved, all those involved with the community matter. We have to deal with it systemically. We got to deal with it holistically, and we have to hold all parties involved, everybody who is involved with the community issues. We have to get involved. We have to call some of the people out. We have to even go to some of the churches, because imagine if we have 5 Liberian churches or 7 or 8 Liberian churches in town, and each of those churches able to at least I got my first score. I can't lie, I thought you were going to be Tutu Makati. So hold on. Tutu Makati, welcome to the Logan's Hour.
Let me tell you, I will call names.
Let me say the disclaimer. She called a name. She will be held liable for whatever she say.
I will
Go
call
ahead.
names. But before I call names, let me clarify. Tutu.
Yeah.
Well, I heard people ready. They said Tutu McCarthy. Because why one individual not carry my name all around? I enter a house, I put chain on her man, and I snatch him outside while she's standing right there. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you, the only thing anybody can say about Tutu McCarthy, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
I born for married man. The married man, I know he get wife. You understand?
Yeah.
That they call Felicia Neverland. I know he knows she has wife. He has a wife. He stepped outside. I didn't go looking for nobody. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a single woman. So if a man come, I'm not gonna go search behind you and know what you got going on, what you don't have going on. You understand?
Yeah.
So that's the only thing. And when that situation happened, let it be known. You understand? For a lot of people that don't know, let it be known. When I found out, I personally, me too, I called that lady to apologize to her as a woman because I'm about to have a child.
That's a good one.
You understand? I apologized to her. I cried on the phone for that woman to open her mouth and tell me that, God forbid, my daughter will be a prostitute like me. First of all, you don't know me from anywhere.
Yeah.
Second, you don't know the destiny of my child. And I told her that day. That day that I called her, I cried on her. I said these tears that I cried on you. My child, what you wishing for, it will never happen. Whatever you wish on my child will follow your daughters. You understand? And I said, just because you said what you said, I said, after I born it, when I was born the second child.
Oh, that's why you told her?
Yes, I went back and I born the second child.
Oh my God.
You understand? So, I don't like for somebody, you don't know me. You don't know who I am. You understand? I never wanted these Liberian people in this community. I never one day went knocking on anybody's door to say anything. The other cross I want what they call Lisa. That switch around with everybody men around the player. You understand?
Can't take it easy,
so
small.
let's see. She had the audacity to carry my name on Facebook, talking a whole bunch of nonsense. What do you know me from? You understand? You don't know me, Adam or Eve.
Yeah.
You understand? When my mom, the position of my mother was laying when she gave birth to me, you don't know it. So you're not gonna sit here and think you can degrade me as a woman, but you are over here spreading your legs for married men, sending video of yourself playing around, disgracing yourself. These are the type of people that this Liberian community look up to.
I know. Let's just take it
You
easy.
understand? You understand? These
Yeah.
are the type of people, men, that are sleeping with their friend men wives. Women that are sleeping with their friend women husband. You understand? These are the type of people, because they're in this clique, they know each other's secret. You understand? But then they're so quick to belittle another woman's 9 months. You understand?
That's true.
I didn't fall out of the sky. Another woman carried me for 9 months, and she was proud. So if my mother is crying because you're destroying her daughter, what makes you think your home will be at peace? It will never be at peace.
Yeah.
You understand?
That's true.
And these are the type of people that this community listen to. I don't lie. I don't have no problem with her. You sit here, you belittle me. But you sitting there, you're lying, and I don't know what they call CNN. To be sleeping with fella that married
Oh
men.
no 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 no. Tutu, we no Tutu, we no no don't no no I'm not cutting you. I just want us to control the conversation because we have a lot of people following. Yeah, because the thing is when we start mentioning names, the fight will remain that it was on the Logan's hour and people start calling people names, and that's why we ain't won. The reason why I'm entertaining calls, I want us to talk about the community problems and how can we solve the community problem. So I just want us to identify some of the problem we have. I know some of the personal issues. Yeah, but I know some of them are so personal that we have to talk when it comes to. I know Tutu all right now. All right. The president said big you know. The president, me put the president come the president say, hey, all right now. Yeah. To the point that the president say, all right now. Just leave it Tutu. Yeah. And I really expect you to thought I won't say you are on live now. The whole one, yeah. I tell you, just go by and edit back. Just cut that whole portion off. You see, Fatima say, oh, that one you thought I be one there. Oh. Okay, so Fatima already recommended. Fatima said, "Might keep the G's for what her name Shadow Hour show." Yeah, I know. Uh-huh. All right, to do, but we will find a different time for that. We don't want to be going into that because those are personal issues. We feel that we can bring it on. Yeah, but let's just because we have some of our children following the program here today. I want to talk about issues that our children can learn from. Because when we start making the show to be so hard this way, other people feel that it was on the show, you're ain't discussing the real issue. Because we just want to find a way that we all can come together and solve this community problem. We
Okay.
want our younger children inherit a community that there will be no division, there will be love, there will be understanding.
No, I just want to, but this is part of the problem. Me, I told you when I came, I was gonna call names. This is part of the problem that I'm facing in the community. You understand? Yes, it's personal, but everything in this community is personal. You understand?
All right,
everything concerning this, like you mentioned, Bala. You understand?
I mentioned him for a reason. I mentioned him because he took part in the election and during the campaign process, his platforms, he explained everything that he was going to do. He explained the love he had for the community. So I mentioned him because he's a popular person. He's a stakeholder in the community. So I know I mentioned him because he's just a regular person. Okay, Tutu, thank you so much. Let me just get another call on here, please.
Wait, cutting me off now. Are too hot?
No, go ahead because I have somebody else calling. The line hot tonight.
No, but that's what I was saying. You understand? Bala, you came. You understand? I don't have any problem with Bala. You understand? When a situation happened, when Bala decided to separate, that's That's personal vendetta. You understand?
Yeah.
As someone that is
Maybe
trying
I
to
come and
lead
answer
the
you just now.
community,
Just a second.
you understand?
Yeah.
As someone that wants to lead the community, if you feel like you said that, okay, the community did not pick you, it's not. Sometimes it's not always because you're not capable. You understand? It's just the fact that the community don't know you as well as you thought. You understand?
Yeah.
So once Rufus Tati, once he was elected, the thing what Bala was supposed to do was to come as an understudy.
Okay.
You understand? To be able to work with him, even if Mr. Tati was doing something that that it doesn't sit right, or it will look what will better the youth. Bala could have made a point. You understand? But work with the president or whoever you fit to work with that will better the community. But it became animosity. It became the youth and the older older people.
So how do you think we can solve this problem?
At this point, I just feel solving this problem is not something that just is not something that's gonna happen now. What it is when people see wrong, put a stop to it right then and there.
Okay.
You understand? When you see that something is not, how can we sometimes, I understand Rufus is trying, but I feel like he could try harder.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. Go ahead. Just conclude, please.
I feel like he could try harder. Okay. You understand? I feel like a lot of the pressure of the youth was solely on Fatima. A lot of the whole election and stuff was solely on Fatima. I understand that, but I feel like as the president, once he was elected, the vice president, do I feel like the vice president doing something? No. You understand? I don't see it. The only person that I see in the spotlight is Fatima. You understand? Is Fatima holding everything. And I feel like the president should be more outspoken. The president should be more involved. If he's more involved, to me, I feel like, okay, it's undercover.
Okay. So,
you understanding me?
So that's a recommendation that the president should be seen often.
I feel like he should be upfront and be seen, be more outspoken. You shouldn't worry about, okay, yes, the youth will always have something. We will always, because we feel like, okay, we are the incoming generation. How can you do stuff that's gonna, better us? And how can we do stuff that's gonna better our next generation that are coming? So when we say something to older people, can I just get mad and say, okay, we're being aggressive, we're being rude? No, because if you silence us, we get mad. Nobody wants to be silenced. Okay. And that's where the problem is coming from. The youth are being silenced.
Okay. So it means the president had to get the youth involvement into her administration. So it means Fatima office need to come to serious. Fatima office need to start working harder. Because you feel that there's a lot of gap between the older folks and the younger folks, right? That's a problem.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Thank you for that. I hope the president and his people taking some recommendations. Mr. President, this is a call for your office. Nobody got invest with you.
All right. I got vessel.
Okay, Tutu, thank you so much for making your input. Bye. Thank you. Oh my God. I'm sorry about that. Tutu sent some fire in just now, but I know we are all mature. We can handle that. But it is what it is. So I had a call coming in from one of my brother, and because I have to call him back because Tutu was on the phone and Tutu sent a bomb and the whole place went wild. Hello, my dear brother. How are you?
Hey, how you doing, brother?
Not bad. I'm okay. What's going on?
Everything good. How's the family? How's the wifey, the baby? How everybody?
Man, everybody doing great, man. Tonight I'm on fire with the community because there are so many things we have to do together in this community. What do you think?
Yeah, man. I just sent a text. I like, what happened? Who made you mad today, man? You hit the hammer on the nail.
Oh yeah. Today I played for it. I said we gotta talk this issue. We can't be shying away from it every time.
That's right. You know, to be frank, man, this thing is not that serious, brother.
Yeah.
You understand? You got people coming on your show and attacking people personally. The time for that is over. That during election time. Even the great America we have, when people having election, all these guys, they go at it with one another, but at the end of the day, they go back They sit down and smoke cigar and drink some wine, and at the end of the day, they got one goal. You understand?
You're right.
But what you said are true, man. We're taking it too personal, brother.
It's true.
I can't believe it in a small community, man acting like some women, man. The other man can speak to the other man, because Philly get his show, he get a click. So when I see Philly, no, man, everything you say is true. We got kids, man. We're not children no more, and we need to get together so our children can play, so our children can know one another. But we say our community is too small, brother, and this shit is getting real serious. Excuse me for my language,
No,
but
you're fine.
it's getting really serious, bro.
Yes, and we got to sit down and talk about it. That's what I think we need to do.
And for free. And to be frank with you, I'm a businessman. I can tell you straight, I'm a businessman. You understand? Mm-hmm. So I deal with things on a business perspective. If me and you don't play with my money, and I'm playing with your money, all other things but are free. I'm not gonna take it personal. After election, few people don't want to speak to me. The other man said, because I don't vote for him, I'm gonna speak to his family. But do you know today or tomorrow I can be driving down the street, I see your child, I see your wife, maybe they need a ride, maybe it's an emergency. We can do this kind of things because we don't know tomorrow, brother. And so we all gotta come together, but man, bygone be bygone. I think if you guys can remember, after the election, I made a public video. Mm-hmm. I can send you the video. I made a public video on the community group chat. I apologize to the other party. Hey man, I'm sorry for everything that happened during the election time. It was election, but now election over. And if I hurt anybody, I apologize. And this was public.
Yeah.
And I feel that the right thing to do. So if I did anything to you, I'm sorry, but this is what happened, and this is the consequence if you want to run for president. Any political thing you want to put your hand in, you got to know the consequences. Anything you want to do, and So I apologize. I told the whole community sorry. If you didn't run for us or against us, I apologize. And up to now, some people still get problem, and I'm still willing to apologize again and again and again. I'm not doing it for me, but I'm doing it for our community and my children, because I may be dead and gone tomorrow. Maybe your child can get a company and my child go work there, and at the end of the day, because the animosity between me and you, your child and my child cannot work together. So my man, we got to put this thing together. Let we learn how, the community used to be okay. We used to play our soccer, we laugh, we joke. So everything you said right here is true. And and I'm willing, I am willing, and to be friend with everybody. If I wrong you, I will publicly go on on your show again. If I wrong anybody for the election, and I'm sorry, that's the consequence for it. And even Mr. Rufo, right? I'm a businessman. Somebody having an election right now, and somebody comes to Dabre Motor. Look, I give a proposal to the both parties. Hey, this is what I want. If you can give me this, if you can do this, I will run for you. And I'm a businessman. I got a company. I contributed to Mr. Tati or party. And on another person as a company. And you understand? So if another person coming, it doesn't mean because I ran for Mr. Tati last year, so somebody won't run now. So I will say, oh, because I run for Tati, not speak to me. No, it's all about our community.
Thank you so much, my dear brother, Emma. It's about our community. I like that last part of it. Thanks, my brother. Thank you so much.
All right, my man. Thank you, man.
No problem. Thank you. I want to say what's up to my own friend, brother, the Don Karakuzu, the Don Christopher Tokpa. Chriso, thank you for following, my brother. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you soon. That Liberia there, I will be there I won't call it town self because, yeah, but I'll be there. I come into your entertainment era. I heard you have your own record label now. I'm so proud of you. The Don Karakuzu. My regards to our man is Zor, Michael Zayu, and the rest of the folks, man. Thank you for following this show tonight. Sally, you just causing problem here tonight. I said. Oh, Sally. Anyway, it is what it is. So, we've been here for some time. We have 2 more minutes. If you want to call and make your input, we will appreciate. We have the lines open. I know this topic was so hot. It was about our community. We'll also have a time to come and talk about social issues where we talk about all the things that Tutu were talking about. We'll have a special show to talk about that. Then I got thing that Tutu were talking about because we know those are some of the burning issues. You see, the first step of reconciliation is about letting go. It's about expressing what really hurt your feelings. Because I can tell you, say, oh, I forgave you, then I express myself. I will tell you what you did to me and how I dislike it first. Then we can come up to a situation or win-win situation where, okay, you hear my feeling, I hear your feeling, then let it go. But just sit down and have something burning in me and don't let it go. Though it was harsh, but I appreciate that. I know that you already, by saying it out, you let it go. So, everybody out here tonight, I want to say thanks to everyone for following me tonight. If you have something to say, you can also call and make your input tonight because we have few more minutes to get out of here. We have few more minutes to get out of here. So, if you want to call and make your input right now, the time is yours. Call right now and make your input. So, let's play One Liberian John by Teddy Riley.
Lump.
Yeah. Beats.
Five friend let me. If you not want betrayal, five friend let me. Five friend let me. Five friend let me. If you not want betrayal, five friend let me. Bombe oh, five friend let me. Bombe jene oh, five friend let me. Fire free let me. Fire free let me. Hey, see bestie. Your bestie not sweet like my bestie. Your bestie la bestie. Fire free let me. I say.
All right, so enough of that. Celine, I will invite you one day so we can talk about this entire song here. What it meant mean your bestie that's sweet and my bestie. That all I thought I beat her though. What you mean your bestie that's sweet and my bestie? Why you want the person bestie to be sweet now? So folks, thank you for following us tonight. Thank you for always coming on here. We have been here for an hour now, and normally our show go for an hour. Sometimes when it's so hot, it go for hour and 20 minutes, hour and 30 minutes. These are all the facts we discuss here tonight. We know there will come a time that people will hate us because of what we say here, but it is why it is. It is why it is. Oh, Damawa, you came late. You got to class so late. Yeah. So it is what it is. We always talk about issues that confronts our community. I know most people don't want us to talk about the churches sometimes when they talk about bringing our community together, but the only bastion of hope when there's no hope for our social groupings anymore, the only bastion, the only people we look up to for sanctity in our community is the church. We cannot avoid the church when it comes to these kind of things. And the church are just sitting. They have the escapism theology. They believe God going to come and just grab all of them in the church on Sunday and say, oh, you're going to go. The other people drinking Corona last night. Well, I'm encouraging every young person, like what Fatima saying here. So, Fatima family, maybe some of these days, next week or whenever, she will come up here. She will also join me. Let's encourage young people. Let's encourage the older people. Let's encourage the church. Let's get involved. Let's get involved with our community. Let's put our hands around each other. Let's support ourselves. We can't be acting like we don't know what killing us when we already know it. So I want to say thank you so much. Thanks to everyone for following me here. We have been here for an hour. This is the Low-Kings Hour if you're just joining us. So we want to say it's already 8:44. We want to say good night, and bye-bye.